Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So continuing to work on the big flower, today I'm going to be working on the part that's at the bottom of this pass. All of the flower doesn't quite fit in this pass. There's a few petals left in the next one, but we are getting the bulk of it done in this pass. So yeah, I'm going to be working at the bottom where it's sort of forming stripes that are fairly horizontal. So we will be following those. So to start off, I'm going to check the lengths of the threads I have parked here. Okay, that will help me decide what I'm going to do. One is on one edge and one is on the other, as is often happens with my method. And generally, I will just juggle them both until they run out, because there's quite a bit of this color in this area. Yeah, once again, I'm working a section that is not as much confetti, more big blocks. It's kind of a mix here. So hopefully you will find it interesting to stitch along with. Yeah, it is lovely out there today. It's my favorite when there's a little bit of a chill in the air, but not enough that it's actually cold. Yeah. Makes it nicer when you have to go for a walk and wear a bit of a jacket so you don't get all sweaty and overheated, but also not freezing, because yeah, I have walked when it's pretty cold, but then you gotta bundle up and that's not as fun. Yeah, I always say endless autumn is where it's at for me. That is what I would love. Yeah, I could never live in a tropical place. Way too hot for me. Yeah, I remember my parents made the mistake of going to Palm Springs during the off season and being unprepared for how hot it was. Yeah. They said they stepped off the plane and said when the heat hit them, they thought, oh, you know, that's from the plane's engines. And then they kept walking and says that they got far enough away and realized, yeah, that's not from the plane. That's just the ambient temperature. Yeah. They were definitely not used to it. Well, my mom didn't mind as much. She did grow up in the tropics, but my dad, yeah. I remember when we visited my parents, they were in a condo and the heat was included, so my mom would just blast it, and it was like December and we were taking breaks of going out onto their balcony to cool off because she had it so hot in there. Yeah. My son was just a toddler, so he was stripped down to his diaper to stay cool. Yeah. Yeah, hard to believe he is a senior in high school now. What the heck? Okay, yeah, I was kind of hoping that's how this would work out, as I could do these stitches here with this thread, and then I will carry on with this one. I think that works out just right. It'll be a little close, but I think we've got it. Yeah, I always say any year that the snow holds off until after Halloween, I'm happy. And so far, it looks like we are on track for that. Yeah. Yeah, I said the first year we moved out to Alberta from BC, boy, was that a adjustment. It was -50 and My husband thought that the thermometer was broken and that it wasn't actually that cold. Yeah, it was. And I warned him. He went outside to clear some snow. And I said, you better wrap up, you know, just your eyes showing kind of thing. He said, no, I'll put a toque on. I'm fine. I said, you need to wrap a scarf like it cover up your ears. He said, no, I'm fine. He was out there for a few minutes. He came in. He said, I think I got frostbite on my ear, the part that wasn't covered by the toque. I'm like, yeah, that's what I tried to tell you. Because my parents, when they were first married, they lived up in northern BC, Prince George, and yeah, you have to really bundle up there because not only is it cold, but it's humid, so it just cuts through you. Yeah. Yeah, I was really little when we moved away from there, but I remember my dad with a butter knife and a hair dryer to get the car door open because they were frozen shut. Yeah, that's just nuts. Yeah, I probably mentioned it here before too. My sister, she's a couple years younger than me, was curious as to what would happen, and she filled up my boots with water and stuck them outside, and they froze solid. Oh, I was not happy. I couldn't go play outside till they dried, which took days. I'm like, yeah, nice. She didn't do that to her boots, right? She only did it to mine, right? And I remember I wasn't happy because after that, the inside lining was not nice and fluffy and soft anymore. It was all matted. Yeah, because that's what happens to that fake fur stuff, right? Yeah, I always say that's what sucks about fleece sweaters. They're so soft and plush when you first get them, and then when you wash them, they never retain the softness. Yeah. I air dry them so that they don't get like as affected by the dryer, but they still, yeah, they never keep the same softness as when they're brand new. Yeah, and I wash my stuff in cold water most of the time, but yeah, unfortunately, it's just never quite the same. Okay, so yeah, I chose to stitch from this side out rather from this side in because of the way it branches off on this end. It's just easier to handle it from this side. So yeah, this colors kind of go all the way up around this flower, but I'm probably just going to cut them off at a certain point. I'm just going to keep growing out from that left side in these kind of stripes until I reach the bottom of this pass, which I may or may not get to during the session. We will see. Pardon me. Yeah, talking about my kid being so grown up now. Realized today I need to go and get him some new clothes again. His pants are too short. They're barely reaching his ankles, so yeah. Oh, he grew again. Yeah, I don't think he'll be quite as tall as his dad, who's 5'9", but he's taller than me, who's 5'3", so... Which isn't very surprising. Yeah, I said that doesn't take much. Yeah, it's actually weird to me when I'm, if I'm out shopping or something and I see another adult who's shorter than me. That's always weird to me because I was always the shortest kid in my class growing up. So yeah, it's always weird to me when I'm taller than another adult. Because yeah, half of the kids are taller than me. I went as a chaperone for my son's band trip when he was in, I think it was 6th grade, yeah. And my little group of like 6 kids, you know, at least 3 of them were taller than me. The others were pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a meme that said, you know, of course I'm full of rage, you fool. I've been the same height since I was 12. Like, yeah, pretty much. I think I stopped gaining height at about 13. Something like that. Yeah. Well, my mom's 5 foot nothing, so 5'3" not bad. Although I say, as much as I complain about being short, yeah, I've seen tall people struggles and I'm thinking, yeah, I think they might have it worse. Oh, my brother-in-law is 6'4", and so he has a hard time with cars having enough leg room for him. Yeah. His sons are all tall, too. I think his oldest son might even be taller than he is. Yeah. Well, his wife is taller than average, too, so it's not surprising. All their kids are tall. All right, so mark that I did these. Oh, almost forgot that one. There we go. And then change colors. Yeah, I had 2 threads, but this one's going to get used up pretty quick, I think, as well. I'll have to start yet another one soon. Oh, I forgot to mark that I parked that one, so I'll get back to it right away, but yeah. I've done that before and then pulled out a new thread and then gone, oh, there's already a thread there. Although sometimes I've done that even when I did remember to mark that it was parked there, and yeah, just was not paying close enough attention. Yeah, again, this color seems a little bit darker than the mock-up. Yeah, that's why I say there's no substitute for seeing things actually stitched up. The mock-up can give you a pretty good approximation, but it's, yeah, never quite the same. That's kind of one thing I like about not stitching a pattern when it first comes out. Wait until some other people have done it and then you can check it out. Yeah, this is Heaven and Earth Designs. They have a nice gallery online that you can check out other people's different works, and also like that way you can compare what it looks like on different stitch counts with different numbers of strands, whether they did it in tent stitch versus full cross stitch and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of nice. So I did that one as well, because why not? So yeah, like I said, you can see the colors kind of radiating out from this edge here. And yeah, like I said, they go all the way around to the top, kind of to the top of this pass, but I'm going to split that up instead of working over such a huge area at once. So yeah, I'll kind of split it up, do the bottom bit, and then sort of carry on, do the middle bit, then carry on, do the top bit. Is usually what I end up doing. So yeah, like I said, this month is easy to know exactly how many stitches I did because I started at exactly 150,000. So yeah, I think I might be able to get the last 4 stitches with that one there. We will see. So now I'm going to start adding more colors to the bottom here. So yeah, like I said, 50% will not be a problem this month. I might reach 51% probably. Yeah, because because I managed 7,000 stitches last month. That's, yeah, 7,000 to 8,000 is sort of what I manage on this main project per month, and 2% is just over 7,000. So yeah, I was close to 49%. Was it like 48.88 or something like that? So yeah, so now we're going to slow down a little bit with these. Okay. So I don't have any short little pieces here. So I am going to go slightly out of order here because of that one stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch like this and then all these. So even though that one sort of from the center extending downwards is kind of a little out of order, I will do it anyway. It's not floating, as I like to say. It's still connected to the other stitches. So even though there will be a little bit of a gap, I will stitch it anyway. Again, if I had a tiny little piece that was good for one stitch, I would probably then do that one there with it. But since I don't, I only have full length pieces right now. So that is what I will do. So yeah, that is why I no longer stitch diagonally. So that's why I turned my diagonal lines off on Pattern Keeper. I used to, but then yeah. Pardon me. It slowly morphed over the years. I often say, even if you, pardon me, copy somebody else's parking, I think everyone's parking is slightly different. I actually find it kind of fascinating to check out how other people stitch. Pardon me. Yeah, a bit of a sore throat this morning. Yeah, I was feeling a little bit off yesterday, but I went to bed early and actually fell asleep, which, yeah, is rare for me. But I hope, fingers crossed, that means I headed it off at the pass and I won't actually get any worse. It was just some mild little thing that passed pretty quickly. Ooh. Oh dear, pardon me. So yeah, husband is out on the road again. Yeah, I mentioned in a previous video, they acquired a whole bunch of new stations, and they have to bring their equipment up to a certain standard by a certain date. So yeah, he's going to be quite busy for the next few weeks, traveling to different locations to swap out and upgrade hardware and software and all that. So yeah, he kind of caught up on all the stuff that was pushed off because of the lockdowns. And then now, yeah, there's this. He's got, they said they took on 21 new locations. They're not all his. They have several engineers, but yeah, he's got a new location. So he's got, I think, like 6 or 7 different locations scattered around through the province. So yeah, that keeps him busy. That is for sure. Oh, it almost looked like an end was coming up there, but I think that was just the way the light, yeah, was shining on the thread. It played tricks on my eyes. So yeah, just gonna take a look here. Yeah, like I said, the colors extend all the way up, but I'm gonna just sort of cut them off sort of maybe over these 3 squares for now. Might drift over or stop a little shy of those 3 squares. We'll sort of see as I go. Yeah, I'm thinking in fact these 2 maybe might be what I decide to do. I had a needle the other day. I was trying to thread it. I couldn't figure out why that wouldn't work. And I realized half of the eye of the needle broke off. So yeah, it won't stay in the eye of the needle. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, in fact, I actually finally have to order myself some new ones soon. Yeah, I like to buy them in bulk since I use multiple needles and just slowly add them as I have to replace them. Actually, I just did those like that. So yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it off sort of right here at this line. And I will just sort of carry the stripes up to there and then fill in until I reach the bottom of this pass and then move over and do the same thing for the next few squares until the whole thing's filled in. Yeah, and I think this is where the flower ends. I think there's some darker maybe leaves, or it might be the peahen's feathers here. Yeah, that are starting to come in. I'm just going to take a look. I like to print out my mock-up. Yeah, I think for the moment it's mostly feathers or petals, and the feathers are going to come in a little further over is what it looks like. What we will see as we stitch it. Yeah, I can never be quite sure. Yeah, or I might even stop a little bit short of it because of where the color stops. Like I often say, I don't go by the lines on the pattern, I just go by what feels right to me. Yeah, so I think those 4 is kind of all I'm going to get out of this thread anyway, so that makes sense to stop right there. Yep, perfect. Now I know these are darker colors here, so I feel safe to pin stitch them there. Yeah, I have my thread ends jar kind of forms stripes in there too often. I'll have stripes that are more blue as I worked the peacock's, you know, head and neck and stuff, and then now more of a pink stripe as I do all this flower. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, a little close right to the edge here. It can be a little tricky to work. Have to be careful to have it far enough over because I have a ruler underneath to help keep this whole thing from rolling away in my clamp stand. So yeah. I did that before. I had it right up against the edge and then realized the ruler's right there. I can't stitch through it, so I had to take it out and fix it, which was a little annoying. Okay, so this color. So yeah, as I said, it closed in a little bit from doing that stitch there, but not on all four sides, which is the biggest thing I try to avoid. So, yeah, like I say, this part stitches up a bit darker than the mock-up, but I do like how it looks. It's looking good. Oh, hang on a minute. Just take a look here. I think I might have extended that, pierced it in the wrong spot. Yeah, it looks a little off. Fix that before I stitch through it with other threads. Oh, if I can. Oh, right. I remember now. I did the top ones here. Yeah. Yeah, because once you stitch through it with other threads, forget it. It will not come undone. Yeah, there we go. It could just be the grid line was making it look like that, but I'd rather fix it and find out later that no, it wasn't an optical illusion. Now I have to decide if I want to cut and rip out to fix or not. Yeah, there we go. Okay. These colors kind of branch off, so we're going to end up with more than one thread. Oh yeah, there is a lot of this one, and I can see that there's going to be, yeah, so I'm going to take one thread and carry it up along here. I'm going to have one here. It's, yeah, there's going to be a whole whack of them, I should think. Yeah, especially since the one that is parked here already is not terribly long anyway. Oops. Okay, so again, I have threads on either side. All right. Yeah, neither of them are that long. I will probably end up having to add yet another one. Yeah, not as many colors here, but they are kind of interlocking each other, so that means I end up having to change colors a bit. Okay, so this one, I don't normally cross as I go, but I kind of want the thread to end up on the other side since I have a second one there. So, oh, there's a fuzzy. Yeah, one of the ends was just trying to make a reappearance. So yeah, this time I'm crossing as I go because I want the thread to be on the opposite end. So back my work isn't perfectly consistent, but I'm not really worried about that. All right, and I think this one is about to run out. There we go. Make sure I pick up the correct one. These grid lines keeping me from making that mistake. Okay, so now I'm going to work with the one that's parked from this end. And again, I'm going to cross as I go so that the thread ends up on the other side. Oh, that's no good. I tell you, this, I'm not having luck with this spot. I missed it with that other thread too. There we go. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, even with two threads, I think I'm going to be short a couple of stitches worth. Well, thread has to run out sometime, right? Sometime it's at the most inopportune moment. Yeah, I think I can get 3 more out of this little piece here. Silly me, that was already out. This one's going to have tons of threads branching off all over the place. So yeah, like I said, not as many colors here, but you can see they're not really in big blocks either. They kind of intersect with each other quite a bit. So but yeah, because I stitch without leaving gaps, I'm way less likely to miscount this way, because yeah, if I try to do sort of all of one color and fill it in, I'm gonna mess it up somewhere, and then I've got to decide whether I want to fudge it or rip and fix, and yeah, I would just rather not do that. So yeah, I say in the end, the speed is probably similar to if I stitch all of one color, because at doing it this way, I have to fix mistakes a lot less often. So yeah, I like when I filled something in, I know there are no missing stitches. So I do them as I encounter them. Oh, I tell you, I keep doing that today. I don't know why. There, that is better. Right, add another color. Yeah, again, this color I'm gonna have probably several strands of it. It also branches off quite a bit. Only need one needle there. Okay. So yeah, because there are quite a few strands to juggle here, that's why I'm only gonna go up to a certain point before I cut it off, so that I don't end up with so many it starts to tangle. And again, I may cut it off here too to fill in before going further downwards. Oh, I forgot about this one right here. Okay. I'm not going to do the one that's kind of floating there. I'll probably add a new piece for it. Yep, I just really don't like leaving gaps. Like I said, there's so much of this color here that adding new strands is probably inevitable. So yeah, doing this one here in the corner, but not the one that's next to it because it's not connected on any sides. I find it a little hard to keep my stitching as neat when I start doing that. Of course, you may prefer to do that, which works as well. Goodness. Right, so this is the one where I have two strands of the same color. And yeah, this one will only be good for these three, and then I will have to tie it off. Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping this would be enough to do the last 3 stitches here, but yeah, that's just not going to happen. It's too short. So. Oops. So I'm going to park this one below for those two there, and I'll add a new small one if I have it for the top ones there. So yeah, again, this thread I'm going to carry upwards. I'll add a new thread to go downwards once I get there. Ooh, that's no good. Make sure we line these strands up so they come through evenly. missed something here. 2. No, I didn't. Oh, or perhaps I did. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I actually, oh yes, that's right. I stitched these in, but I forgot to mark that I had stitched them in, so no problem. We are good. That is what happened there. Yeah, okay, so let's find a piece here. Actually, I think I may just, yeah, take this one out of the envelope after all. It looks like I'm going to use it a bit. Pretty soon. Oh, accidentally changed colors there. Yeah, I was trying to move it, but I accidentally selected it. Yeah, I have it set up so a double tap does that. When I'm in move mode, it selects or deselects a color. And when I'm in mark mode, I can use a double tap to park the thread, which is really nice. So yeah, you have to set those up in the special features, but once you do, it saves you some time. So yeah, I said I was going to cut it off about here for the moment. It's another end trying to come through. There we go. Well, yeah, even with having to change colors a fair bit, still made good progress today. We'll pass 200 stitches easily. yeah, I decided one was going to go this way, and another was going to go the other way. I think I've got some short pieces. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so here's where I decided I was going to add another thread. But first I have to do this other color. Do those. I think I might just do this one too, because there's two colors around it, so yeah. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so then I did that so that I can do all these at once. And then park below. Oh, pardon me. finish is probably wearing off that needle. They tend to get squeaky when that happens. So I think I'm going to take a break pretty soon. Right where this thread runs out, so that kind of makes a nice natural stopping point. Yeah, did over 230 stitches in this session, so I am pretty happy with that progress. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you here next time. Thanks everyone. Bye.